Hello, and welcome to another new day and a new vlog. This day started as a day of travel, but there is a bit of surprise awaiting towards the end of this travel. So stay tuned. And this is all about our 7th day tour in the Europe. It was close to 6 a.m. when we left the hotel and reached the metro station. Yes, a week has gone by, and now we are standing in this metro station from where we caught the metro train to Gare de Lyon. The Paris Metro is said to be one of the oldest metro trains opened ever since the 1900s, and mostly they run underground, except for some places where they are overground. Since it was the early morning hours, the train was pretty empty, except for the few passengers like us. And this metro ride was the last of our metro rides in Paris for this season. After a metro ride of about 30 minutes, we reached the Gare de Lyon station. We then took the exit from the metro station and walked towards that part of the Gare de Lyon station from where the TGV train operates. The metros, the area lines, and the TGV trains are all interconnected here, and so it's quite easy to walk from one to the other. I also got to know that the metro lines in Paris, especially in big stations, are built three levels under the ground. Coming up this level, we came to that part of the station from where the ARIA trains are caught. Again, walking ahead, we came to the escalator that took us to the halls from where the TGV trains or the high speed trains are caught. And it was from here we had a train scheduled at 7:15 a.m. to our next destination in Europe, the Switzerland. So today we're traveling to Switzerland from Paris. This was quite a different world above, and it was a vast area spread with many food stalls and branded shops. And you can also find the platforms for the TGV trains from here. We soon found out that our train to Zurich in Switzerland was scheduled at 7:15 a.m. from the Hall 2 of the Gare de Lyon station. The platforms were already announced, and so we thought to buy some snacks and coffee and walk towards the Hall 2. Now, this is how the Gare de Lyon looks like, with lots of branded shops, and the whole place was so lively. And this side of the station was filled with many passengers from different parts of the world, mostly tourists, waiting for their trains. We were right in time when the entry to the platform had begun. We soon got into the line, scanned the tickets, and then walked into the platform. And here is our train waiting to board the passengers. This was the first time we were traveling on a train from one country to another, and we were much excited for that. Soon we boarded the train and settled in our seats, and this is how it looks inside. Of course, this was our second journey on a TGV train, and the first trip was to the Lodi city in the south of France. But here we're crossing the country borders on a train for the first time. Now, if you have missed our travel to the Lodis and also all the fun we had during our stay in Paris, then do check out our Paris vlog playlist and equip yourself with all the ideas and plannings we did for this Paris tour. And I can give the link to that in the description or in the I section. So, if you're planning your vacation to Paris or to any part of France, then I'm sure these videos would be of some help to you. Right in time, the train began and started to leave the station behind. And so it was time for us to say goodbye to Paris. Very soon, the train started to catch up speed, and the morning hours looked so beautiful with the sun coming up. We had the snacks and the coffee we had brought from the station and sat looking through the window to the beauty of nature. These were some of the last glimpses of France, and so it was nice watching them. This train was quite fast, and few stations passed by, and the next station approaching was Basel, the first station for this train on entering Switzerland. And also, we could see many passengers preparing to leave. Now, at times, if you're planning to travel the whole of Switzerland, then you can get down at the station and start your tour right from Basel. But since we had other plans, we traveled straight to Zurich. The station was also quite big, and after a halt of a few minutes, the train again started, heading towards Zurich. Soon the train again caught up speed, and now we could see some signboards and typical Swiss homes and buildings. This train journey was not at all boring, as we were excited to cross the country borders, as well as watch the changing country heritages. It took us about 4 hours from Paris to Zurich in this train, and we were expecting to reach the Zurich Central by 11:30 a.m. So this is how the train journey through Switzerland looked like. Now, to get tickets for these kind of high-speed trains are quite simple, though you may have to plan in advance so as to get the seat reservations, especially during the season of tourism. And since we had the Urail pass with us, it was of great help in booking the tickets and reserving the seats. After the travel time of 4 hours, the train was soon reaching the Zurich Central. It was time for us to get down, and it was also the last stop for this train.
Pas de soleil, pas de soleil, pas de soleil, la-la-la. Pas de soleil, pas de soleil, pas de soleil, la-la-la.
Very soon, the announcements were made, and the train entered the Zurich Central Station. With our luggage, we got down from the train. And that was again a happy moment for us to set our foot in Switzerland. This is a train in which we came from Paris to Switzerland. Again, leaving the train behind, we soon walked towards the center of this platform, also known as the Musée Strasse platform. The Zurich Central Station is quite vast and lies in several levels. And here we are in the largest railway station in Switzerland and also one of the busiest in Europe. And it has connections to the airport, tram stations, and even the cruise stations. And also has services across the neighboring countries like France, Germany, Italy, and Austria. The first thing we planned to do here was to get a physical SIM card and a local number, and so we were walking along in search for a store to get one. So that was successful when we found out a store and bought a SIM card. And the next immediate thing we had to do was to contact the car rentals through whom we had done a car booking to tour in Switzerland. This station was named as Zurich Hauptbahnhof in 1893 and is also popularly known as the Zurich HP or the Zurich Central. Though there are many means of transport available in Switzerland for tourists and visitors, we thought to take a car to travel in this country. We got to know that the car pickup point was not very far away from the Zurich Central Station, and so we thought to have a walk along the way watching the neighborhoods of Switzerland. With the help of Google Map, we walked along the streets of Zurich, and in about 8 to 10 minutes of slow walking, we reached the car rental store. And very soon after the paperwork, this car was delivered to us for the next few days. Without delay, we loaded our luggage and began our way to drive along the roads of Switzerland. This, what you see, are the first glimpses of our ride along the Swiss roads. Now, if you have been watching this video from the beginning, you might be remembering of a sweet surprise I said at the start of this video, and that is our next plan for the day. We have scheduled a tour at the famous Lindt home of chocolate today at 1:30 p.m. And here we are on our way to the Lindt chocolate factory. We bought some food to have along the way and set the maps to the location of Lindt home of chocolates.
Pas de soleil, pas de soleil, pas de soleil, pas de soleil, pas de soleil.
The drive along the way was really pleasant. And unlike many places we have visited, the roads here were literally free of traffic. And that was a real relaxing feeling for us, as we are very much used to the busy traffic and the crowded roads. And driving through the beautiful Swiss roads, we soon reached our destination, the Lindt home of chocolate. This is a very popular tourist destination in Switzerland, and mostly everyone traveling to Switzerland will never miss this place. The tickets for tour inside is available online, or you can also get it right from the reception. Though we were a little late as per the scheduled time, but without much delay we got our entry pass. And here at the entrance what you see is the iconic masterpiece of Lindt home of chocolate. People come here in families and in groups. Now, separate or group tour guides are also available to tour inside. On entering inside, we were provided with the audio guide handsets. Now, inside, there are many sections of tour. Like this section depicts the first stage of chocolate from the coca cultivation. Now here's for you some glimpse of how it looked inside. There are many screenplays which showcases the ancient history of chocolates and the discovery of chocolates. The audio guides are of great help in making us understand the history and all the details. It was in the early 1500s when chocolate came into existence, but that time it was only popular among the ruling community. But later, after many years, in the 1800s, the chocolates could be afforded by the working class as well. Everyone is literally enjoying the tour. The audio guides are of great help to tell us the history and explain the details. And now, here in this section, we could see the whole history of how the Lindt home of chocolate began and how it is popular in the present. Next, we will head to the section where the molten or liquid chocolate was kept for tasting. This is one of the favorite for everyone in the store. Three types of chocolate were kept ready for tasting, and everyone was allowed to do the tastings and know the flavors and the difference. And literally, you can see everyone enjoying this section, children and adults alike.
Pas de soleil, pas de soleil, pas de soleil, da-da-da. Pas de soleil, pas de soleil, pas de soleil, da-da-da.
From the tasting section, we came to the next place where the liquid form of chocolate is then set into molds and made to different shapes and size. Again, to our excitement, from there we walked into the next tasting section. And here we get the bars of freshly prepared chocolates for tasting. Lot many flavors of the Lindt chocolates are available here for tasting. And I can see everyone enjoying this. Now, these are the display of some of the spices or the natural elements used in flavoring the different types of chocolate. We had a good time tasting, and I can see literally everyone enjoying this. I would say that chocolate lovers would really have a good time here. And then from here we entered the tour section where we could see the display of the distribution of Lindt chocolate globally and the Lindt factories and outlets in various parts of the world. Next, we came to this section where the final product of the Lindt chocolates, just like how we see in the stores, are all set for us to taste and enjoy the final part of the tour. Now, soon coming out of the tour area, we are standing in the first floor with a view of the iconic masterpiece of Lindt. You can see the great whisk with the molten chocolate flowing smoothly. Everyone could be seen capturing pictures and creating memories. Now, another exciting part of this tour was the souvenir we get to collect from here. We just had to scan our tickets, and this is what we got to see. And that was fun to get our souvenir, another Lindt chocolate. After all the activities upstairs, we were then directed downstairs. This is a store of chocolates and Ulli chocolates. And from here you can buy as much as you want all the flavors which were given for tasting during the tour. And this for you is a glimpse of the Lindt store of chocolates. Mostly everyone were seen buying chocolates in large quantities for taking back home for family and friends. Walking along the store, we also bought some chocolates to take back home. So, this was all about the sweet tour inside the Lindt home of chocolate in Switzerland. That was a wonderful experience we had. And now we are again on the road, driving past the Lindt home of chocolates. Though the time was almost 5 past in the evening, the sun was very bright this side and the nature looked really pleasant. Our next plan for the day was to drive to the apartment we have reserved for the stay, and that was somewhere in Lucerne and was about 1+ hours drive from Zurich. So here's for you some clips of our drive along the Swiss roads. The best time to visit Switzerland is said to be from March to August or September, where you get to see the changing climates from winter to spring and summers. The Switzerland roads are really free of traffic, and so it's a very relaxing kind of drive here, though the speed limits and safe driving are to be kept. It was really nice to watch the typical Swiss homes and farmlands along the way, and the evening sun added to the beauty. Unlike in the Middle East, where we are accustomed to seeing the dry mountains and sands and mirage, here we got to see the green mountains and trees and the lush green nature.
Turn left.
Wallusen in Lucerne was a destination, and after a pleasant drive of about 1.5 hours, we started to see the signboards with the name Wallusen. And so we got to know that we were somewhere near to our apartment neighborhood. We then stopped on the way somewhere near Wallusen and entered a supermarket called the Coop. bought some eatables, water, and fruits, and started the drive. Close to 7 p.m., we reached the neighborhood of our apartment. We had in fact booked this apartment right from home before we started our travel, and so it was a kind of relaxation now that without much hassle we could directly reach out and settle here. The owners were quite good and they handed over the keys, and they also explained to us briefly about the places worth visiting while in Switzerland. We checked into the apartment, and this is going to be our stay for the next few days. So, this is how an apartment in Switzerland looks like. In fact, this apartment was booked through the Airbnb site, and it was somewhat the best place from where we had access to many tourist destinations and sites of interest. First, we thought to relax and settle ourselves for a while, and then maybe have a night drive. But soon the relaxing became long, and it was the next day morning we woke up. So let me stop here and leave you for the day, and then come back to you with a fresh morning. Thank you for tuning in with us and being part of our travel. With lots of love, hoping to see you soon in our next video.